for volunteering with my mom's campaign. I'm so happy to be here on my mom's birthday. I really am so grateful to Pat and the more than 51,000 volunteers that we've had work with the campaign across Ohio. And I'm incredibly grateful to Kamisha and the more than 330 organizers we have working tirelessly between now and Election Day. Kamisha and I were talking about all the water, caffeine, and yes, sugar that we had to consume. And since it's my mom's birthday, I think we all just should have a little extra cake. Or donuts or whatever your favorite form of sugar is. Because there just really is not a moment to waste between now and Election Day. Oh, the little person making sounds doesn't bother me at all. It makes me feel right at home. I am so grateful to have the chance to advocate on behalf of my mom's campaign, to talk about what's at stake in this election. Because for me, this election is first and foremost about my kids. I have a daughter, Charlotte, who just turned 2, a son, Aiden, who's 4 months old, and I know, oh yeah, thank you. I know that whomever we elect as our next president will really shape the country, the world, and the future that my children, that your children, that our grandchildren will grow up in. So I know that, oh yes, and there's a visible reminder of the little person right there. So I know that so many of you have already done so much for the campaign, so thank you. And if it's not too presumptuous, thank you for all that you can do over the next now less than 2 weeks. Because it's really not that far away. And we don't want the polls to close on November 8th thinking that we could have done more. So I hope we can really have a conversation today, and you'll ask questions or share suggestions for these final 13 days that you think can make the campaign stronger, or I can help you make a stronger argument to your family, friends, and even strangers about what's at stake in this election and why we have to support my mom and Democrats up and down the ballot. And I also want to recognize and thank Kathy Johnson and Lee Schreiner for being here and for running, because it's hugely important that we give my mom strong partners in Congress, at the state level, and the local level. I think this is the most important presidential election of my lifetime. And I feel that way in part because I'm a parent. And so I do feel as if I have more of a personal stake in this election because of my daughter and my son than ever before. I also feel that way because I think everything that I care most about and everything that you probably care most about is at stake in this election. The progress that President Obama has made, that I think he gets far too little credit. The opportunities for further progress is at stake in this election, and our core values as a country are at stake in this election. I never thought I would see in my lifetime the almost daily diet of hate speech that seems to be Donald Trump's main campaign strategy. The racism, the sexism, the Islamophobia, the homophobia, the rhetoric against Americans with disabilities, the rhetoric against our veterans, the demeaning way that he talks about people with mental health challenges. None of that is what I want for our country, and it certainly is not the country that I want my children and their generation to grow up in. And when we say that our children are listening, that's not rhetorical.
It's true.
The Trump effect, the rise of bullying in schools is real.
It's real. It's real.
The number of parents and kids that I've met who share their stories of being bullied is heartbreaking. Just one that I think about all the time. I was in Pennsylvania last month, and after an event like this, a woman came up to me and she said, "Can I share part of the reason I'm supporting your mom?" I said, "Yes, thank you." She said, "I came to the United States 12 years ago from Guatemala to go to graduate school at Penn State because I hoped that if I got a graduate degree, I could give a better life to my then 6-month-old son." She said, "I graduated from graduate school, I got a good job here, my son and I are both proud American citizens. I'm voting for the first time for your mom." She said, "One of the reasons I'm voting for your mom is because my son went back to school at the time she was telling me this story less than 2 weeks ago. And he's already had 3 different kids in his middle school say to him either, go back to Mexico, or I can't wait until we build a wall to keep people like you out. That is not our country. And so for me, this election is in part about, yes, defeating Donald Trump and sending a strong message that love trumps hate. And it's also about electing my mom and sending an affirmative message about the type of leadership that we want for our future.